Welcome everyone to Unscripted Coding. Today we're going to try out GitHub Spark, which is an invite-only technical preview from GitHub. And the goal is to allow you to create simple single-page or limited web apps, progressive web apps that will allow you to achieve very simple goals. And really, as of late, we've been doing a lot of that on this channel, and I wanted to see how GitHub fares in that sense. And so here GitHub is explaining and showing you a few simple options here. An allowance tracker, for example. Here is a very simple video game, I think, with trucks and cars. Tracking weekly karaoke night, even something with maps. So certainly this one looks stupidly simple. You can probably do this in a one-shot with any LLM today, but as you go down the list, you get a bit more sophisticated. This is a map application, so you're probably going to need to connect to some APIs, and here a client to see news. So what is going on? How does all this work? Well, frankly, I have not looked more into it than that. I just signed up for the wait list a long while ago, and I have just gotten access earlier today. Now, there's a couple limitations here. One, you don't have a choice of models. So if you're using something like Roo or Klein or Cursor, you have wide open any sort of model. Certainly the frontier ones like Sonnet 3.7, Gemini Pro 2.5, or GPT-03. But you also can choose DeepSeek, Flash, Flashlight, all sorts of different cheaper models as well. Here on GitHub, you don't have to worry about the money so much because you're not being charged as you go, but you are also limited in selection. The other big limitation that I have read is that this is not freely available just anywhere. Once you've created your app, it is tied to GitHub Spark, and the biggest limitation is I can't even send it to my friends unless they have a GitHub Spark account. So let's say I create this super cool application. Let's say it's a video game that's just amazing. My audience is inherently limited to other GitHub Spark users. So what that means is we are probably looking at very personal micro applications, simple tools that I'm personally going to use rather than creating something that you can share with everyone. That said, you will be able to make changes, but you will also be able to see the code. So in theory, you could export it and change it out. The problem is that GitHub Spark manages the whole chain. They are using specific technologies. They are hosting it a certain way. All of that is taken care of. And if you decide you want to spin it off, make an app out of it, and host it somewhere else, you're going to need to make a series of changes. Is that hard? Is that difficult? I'm just not sure, but it is a massive limitation. I would have hoped that even if it's hosted on the GitHub Spark platform, that I would be able to share it with my friends to let them see it. All right, without going much further, I wanted to create a very simple app. Long story short, as usual, when I was out with my friends, we took forever to try and order a bunch of things. So I was thinking, given a restaurant menu, allow users to vote for their choices to share. Allow different users to vote for their choices to share. So ideally, I can put in a menu. It's going to create a form, and then everyone can vote ahead of time. Now this is not a very long prompt, but we'll see where it goes. Now the first thing I noticed is that these are well themed already. This may not be the most attractive, but this might be going for a child-friendly look. But the rest of these look pretty good, which is different than if you just use Claude or Gemini on a plain one-shot. Those ones, normally you have to tell it to do a certain design or else they will use a minimal UI. Okay, so we have our first look here, restaurant menu voting. Okay, so there are 3 items, one in mains, one in starters, one in desserts, and we could just kind of downvote and upvote. Now, what I want to know is, well, let's say, can you populate it with more dishes and allow for the users to add manually? This will allow us to just test it out further and make it look better. It looks like they're using React, which I don't use a lot of, and so that will be a problem, but that makes a lot of sense if you want to build something that's scalable, that is performant. React makes a lot of sense. We have history here, so we could go back and forward. Very cool. So we can do a theme, and I just like green, so we'll theme it a bit differently. And let's go with pink. It's very neonish. Okay. Monospace? No, that looks awful. Okay, that looks a bit more sophisticated. And okay. So you can see you can change the theme very briefly, but you can see I was generating audiobooks for myself in a previous video that we were talking about. Anyways, we can add dishes manually now. Let's go chicken skewers. And I'm not going to description, we'll just call it mains. Main. Something isn't working here. All right. User cannot add a dish. Also, you forgot to populate. I'm going to iterate this a few more times off screen so you don't have to wait for all this code to generate. But I think we can already see in general, we can share the Spark, we can full screen and see how it looks. Let's just maximize our preview to see how it looks. But the sidebar is where all the work is being done. We just have the one key data source, which is all of our food. Wonder if this is being hosted somewhere. Ah, okay. And there are suggestions. These are suggestions for the next step that we can use. It's unfortunate that it keeps changing my selection for highlights and such, but let's go with this. Dark mode, this looks pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna iterate a few times off screen. Okay, sound on again. I have iterated through the menu voting 9 times, and really, it looks good. It looked good even on the first run, and you can see I've asked it to change the colors and the formatting a little bit. Uh, I like the first version plenty. I like this one just fine as well. Um, okay, maybe I shouldn't fiddle with the settings here. Um, But this seems perfectly functional. If I send it to someone else, they will be able to downvote or upvote and move things up. We can filter by different types of food, and there is even some code in here to ensure that or at least it should, am I seeing it? That will check if your IP has been voting repeatedly. So I can't just keep going forward. Now, obviously, if you wanted something more sophisticated, you should have a login system or a password system or something to further limit it. But really, I was thinking we're all good friends and we can vote on a menu, nice and simple, and you can add items and such. So seems perfectly fine, and we have the React code and the basic HTML. So I think this simple task you can port it over fairly easily. That said, you do see that there is a GitHub Spark hook right here as well. And so this is, I think, to store data and such, makes it very simple for GitHub Spark to move forward, but in reality, we would have to put a bit more work into whatever these components are. But I'm not too worried, especially for something simple like this. Very cool if GitHub Sparks makes it easy for us to move it online and to share it publicly, not just to GitHub Sparks members, but to GitHub members at large. This would be very, very helpful. I decided to test it with something a bit more sophisticated because this is something I expected it to fully succeed in. And so I asked it to create a 3D game, which you can see here. I have gone through 5 revisions, and I suppose I could keep asking it, but it is refusing to really go further than this. And so, what you're seeing is supposedly I wanted crows to kind of fly down at a character. I am not surprised, nor am I even disappointed that the person is a green block, the crows are just triangles. That is fair game because um, it doesn't have assets and it's not going to create assets for me. But no matter what I said over and over, is they aren't actually making contact with the main user. It's not much of a game if I have to dodge things that will never hit me anyways. And so if I stand still here for 5 seconds, you're going to see it will never ever hit. And I asked it for a cool feature of like having the screen flash if it makes contact, but it's never going to make contact. And after a couple revisions, it's pretty clear that it's not going to happen. And I suppose, you know what? I suppose I'm going to use O1 here and say the crows never make contact with the main character. Can you ensure that the crows can collide? And we'll ask it there. Now, what I find really cool about this interface is one, you can choose your model. There's a couple for you to choose from. All makes sense. It's missing Gemini now, which is a great contender. But the other one is this target, which is you can send a screenshot um, alongside your prompt. So if I select, it's going to attach an image of the screen, and perhaps I could just say, I don't like this header, or I don't like this icon, or whatever it may be. little useful things, but you can see this is quite a limited experience in that you're not going to be able to push it very, very far. Um, you're using some proprietary components or at least some fairly restrictive components within GitHub Spark. And so I do think their original vision was very clear. This is to create micro apps. This isn't for you to create apps for you to sell. It's really to create these simple, small apps. And in that sense, I think it fully succeeds. This would work great. If I created something for me to track my own things, it would work very easily. I'm just going to go back and you can see, I can go back to my recent Sparks, go back in. Sorry, not this one. And it should keep all the data. So useful, helpful for anyone who wants to build these tools. Now, what has happened here is none of this code works. So we can make the edits by removing the comment lines. And refreshing and see where we go. Okay, so 01 made it worse. And we'll use GPT-4o instead. And I will give it one last shot, see if it works. But it wouldn't be fair to ask it to make a 3D game and expect it to succeed. In fact, the fact that I had anything at all is helpful. I do think one of the limits here is that these are all outdated models already. There's 3.7, there's 03. You want to use the newest models, and I think, Gemini is the current king, and it would probably do a better job than this. I do like the interface, so as soon as they update this, I could see myself using it for, kind of work-related apps. It makes it very, very simple for you to build. That said, in this channel, we've used Klein, we've used a bunch of different tools. You can get the same results elsewhere as well without using GitHub Sparks, without trying to go for a waitlist. So I am kind of mixed. I think this will make it very accessible for non-programmers. Probably want to hide the code. But other than that, we're getting to an age where people don't need programming for basic applications, and I think that's pretty cool. So stay tuned next week. We will try out another tool, work on another project, but give it a shot if you haven't already and sign up for GitHub Spark. All of this is free, so it's definitely fun to play with. Bye.